Wow. Oh, wow. They did it. The coalition, Microsoft, they fucking did it, man. It only took 5 years of waiting and expecting something last year at least. I mean, maybe not 2020, maybe not 2021, not even 22, but like last year everyone was expecting something for Gears cuz at that point in 23 it's been, 4 years since Gears 5. So everyone was expecting at least a teaser that like last year, but man, this year, wow. And I was losing hope, man. The Xbox showcase today, that shit was at 10 a.m. for me. I woke up at 9:30, just stalled for 30 minutes, and I put the showcase on, and bro, the disappointment I was having with each and every single game that was being announced and nothing for Gears, like especially the worldwide premieres, whenever those would pop up, I'd be like, this is Gears, this is Gears, this is Gears, but you know, in retrospect, of course they would save that game for last. Like it is Microsoft's kind of second baby next to Halo. It is an exclusive game and it is one of their main titles. So of course they were gonna save it for last, just to kind of basically tease fans or like just fucking disappoint Gears fans even more. Like they honestly, like they should have opened up with that. Like Doom. Like I was excited for Doom. Yeah, that trailer for Doom, the Fallen Kingdom or whatever, or Dark Ages. That dude, that game looks fucking sick. And so far the last two Doom games have killed it. id Software has been killing the Doom like game. So this third one is going to be no different. Even that DLC for Doom Eternal was pretty sick. Anyways, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about that fucking amazing trailer, that amazing teaser. Like if you saw my video yesterday, I was like, that's what I wanted. I wanted like either a minute to a 30-second to minute teaser trailer, which basically is what we got. You can call it a trailer, you can call it a cinematic. I think it's a trailer. I think that's not going to be like the opening cutscene for the game. I think it's just a teaser trailer. But that was what I wanted exactly. Just the way Marcus was legit getting his ass pummeled by that drone. It just like I was like, yes, bro. And I wasn't expecting a prequel. I think no one was expecting a prequel. Honestly, I was expecting. I think everyone was kind of like, okay, here's gonna be Kate or JD or something. But then I heard that Marcus like scream when he got pushed through the wall. That initial second, just and then just like the grunts and stuff. I was like, yes, bro, this is exactly it. Just kind of despair, like it like that. This game feels like. I mean, it's called Gears of War E-Day. Also, they added the of War back. It's not just Gears E-Day. It's Gears of War E-Day. So thank you, Coalition. You listened to basically every single fan that said, why the hell did you change? Why did you remove of War? Like, it's not Gears of, like, why is it not called Gears of War 5? It's Gears 5. Like, nah, bro. But I think 5 will live as a black sheep. Actually, no, Judgment will probably live as a black sheep. But again, like that's just minus that. Okay, like the trailer. Let me go back to the trailer. It gave me hope, right? For the way the game direction is looking like it's gonna go. Like it gave me hope for it. Obviously hope maybe isn't the right word for Gears, since that trailer basically was like, oh, this is despair. You're just in complete shock. You're in fear. You're like, you're supposed to feel just disparity, kind of like what Gears 1 was. Gears 1 was all about, in a way, just kind of fear, and it banked off your fear, and it banked off like, man, these guys are just endless. It's like a never ending nightmare, and that's the word I'm looking for, like a nightmare. I can't think of the word right now, but that's what the trailer reminded me of. That trailer, obviously the piano at the end, playing like a version of Mad World, and just taking me back to Gears 1. Like, dude, I wish I recorded myself or streamed the event, because my reaction was lit. I legit just started screaming, bro. I was so happy. I was getting so sad that I was like, bro, we're never gonna get it. My brother was right behind me on my bed, just like, bro. He just said like, oh, here's Gears. I'm like, shut the fuck up. And it just wasn't Gears, bro. I swear, like there was like 8 worldwide premieres from that showcase all in a row, and none of them was Gears. All of them were fucking like not Final Fantasy. They're all like fantasy game number 20, fantasy game number 21, fantasy game number 22. The amount of fantasy games in the showcase was insane. You had like Fable and Avowed, and there was another fantasy game I saw. I was like, dude, what the hell is with all these fantasy games? But I guess it is an easy genre to talk or to do. But like, bro, finally when that girl shut up and just like, oh, we have one last thing waiting for you before the Call of Duty showcase, and then they did Gears, I was like, oh. And I can tell right away too. Like even like when it said worldwide premiere, you can like the Xbox the colors of the showcase switched from green to red. Oh my god, can I say red? It switched from green to red, and I was like, oh, this is Gears. This has to be Gears. Like that's basically the insignia of Gears is red, right? And behold, I was right. Like, it switched to fucking, it was the Gears trailer. And then, obviously the first opening shots too, I was like, what is happening? But I was just like, what game is this? What game is this? I was so like, what the fuck? And then you see the Wars Over newspaper. And as soon as you see that TV, that cog insignia with the little wings and stuff, you can tell right away, oh, this is Gears of War. This is it. They finally did it. Thank you, Coalition. Now, either if they nail it out the park, great, but they definitely nailed it out the park with this trailer. That's for sure. They definitely brought a lot of eyes back to the game. I think they did a good job in generating hype. Now there's hype in the community. Now there's hope within the community as well. Just like, finally, bro, after 5 years of waiting, we finally have something. Unfortunately, there's no announcement yet of a collection. Maybe it's not real, but at least we have something to live off of for the next year or the next 2 years, whenever this E-Day game, whenever the next Gears of War game is coming out, whenever this game is coming out. I have a feeling, honestly, since there is no date for this game, I have a feeling it's coming out in 26, which is 2 years, right? Which means the Coalition would have had 7 years to develop this game, which is a long ass time. This is a long time, almost basically like Halo, this basically has almost the same amount of development time as Halo, or between like 5 and Infinite. Now, granted, there was only 5 or 6 years, but still, that's like a lot of time, even for Halo. So the fact that it might be 6 years, 7 years before this game comes out, that's a really long time, and I hope they nail it out the park with the campaign and obviously the multiplayer. Like, the campaign has to be good, and the multiplayer obviously has to be good. I'm not saying the gameplay will be bad. I mean, 5's gameplay isn't that bad, but my thoughts yesterday, you guys can go back and watch that video if you want to know my thoughts, but I just kind of wanted to go back to, in a way, Gears 1 movement. It's funny because I played the Ultimate Edition yesterday, and I was kind of mad because I was like, fuck, bro, how do I play Ultimate Edition? It's been so long, but it was pretty good. I had a fun time playing Ultimate Edition, even though I kind of got my ass railed, honest. I'm going to be real with y'all. Playing UE was so fucking hard yesterday, but it was still a lot of fun. It was definitely a lot of fun. I had a lot of good fun playing the game, and that sort of movement and the gunplay in a way, too. I kind of wanted to go back to that. Maybe not make the pistol so damn strong, but I kind of want to go back to that gameplay, in a sense, that style of gameplay, kind of like slower, heavier. Guns do a shit ton of damage to you, even though it was annoying. And those maps definitely were not meant to be played on TDM. Definitely meant to be played on Execution and maybe King of the Hill, but I couldn't find a game for any of those, so I just stuck with TDM. And Rooftops is done, by the way. Rooftops, Hammer of Dawn, Spam, that was just annoying. But that's besides my point, bro. Like, so this trailer, right? I want to talk more about this trailer. The one thing that kind of worries me a little bit is the drone in the trailer looks weird. Like, Marcus looks good, right? But the way the drone looks in the trailer, the way even Dom looks, like his armor, they don't look as buff. Like I understand the drone. They made it to where the drone actually feels like a real monster. Marcus is battling, and obviously he is winning. The drone was winning, but the so obviously the drone is gonna look bigger and at least taller wise, and maybe a little bit buffer. But I really didn't see that. The drone to me looked a little weird. I'm not saying he would look bad, but he just looked a little elongated. I want to say like he was tall, but maybe not as much muscle as I would hope for. I mean, I'm not like the coalition knows how to make locusts, right? They made them for like as skins for this game. Obviously, they kind of just ripped them from the original trilogy, but still, like they know how to update the skins and they know how to make the locust skin. So to me, it's kind of like they have something here. It's just I don't know why that trailer kind of made the drone look just weird to me. Same thing with Dom. Like Dom's armor was just it looked again. It's maybe because the Marcus and Dom, they don't look as buff, right? Like Dom looked not that buff in this game. He looked kind of or like in the trailer, Dom looked. They didn't look that buff, compared to what we're seeing. Like Dom's arms filling out his armor, and the armor kind of like looking perfect for them. Like in this game, or like in the trailer, it just kind of looked. It looked like the armor was like a little bit too big for them. I know that's a little weird, but I don't know. Like Marcus looked fine. Like Marcus actually, like throughout the whole trailer, looked great. But Dom to me looked a little off. But no, that trailer, I mean, it's a cinematic, it's UE. It's hard to explain because it's Unreal Engine, and most of that is said, or what the coalition is saying, that most of that is basically in-game assets, and this is what the game's actually going to look like, which would be cool, right? Because it kind of goes back to that. Oh, this is great, like in-game cutscenes. Basically, there's no like CG, there's no rendering, it's all in-game cutscene. In the bottom it said in engine, trailer, in engine, whatever, like teaser, something. So that's exciting. Obviously, I don't think the game's gonna look that like perfect, but obviously the game is gonna look. I mean, Gears 5 looks good even to this day. Back in 2019, like this game looks amazing. Gears 5, and surprisingly, I don't know how, but Gears of War E-Day looks even better, and that trailer just showed off like basically the perfectness of it. Perfectness of it. It looks amazing. The game looks downright stunning. That final shot of just them looking over the city, being overrun from corpses and locusts, the drones. It was amazing. Obviously the tone they're going for here, like the color wise, is very red, but the trailer too, it looked dark. There's a lot of dark tones, gray, brown tone. So I hope they stick with that sort of tone, because it again, this trailer reminded me a lot of just Gears of War 1. Just like the beats of the trailer, like you look at the Gears of War 1 trailer, the original trailer, and you look at this trailer. In a way, it's like the same beats, just kind of it's like, okay, you have this guy who, well, in the original trailer, you have this guy looking at a mannequin, or not a mannequin, some weird like half face statue, right? And then he goes through like the city and just running away from things, and then he jumps into like this building and it has a corpse and a shit ton of locusts, and then he's just shooting, knowing that he's gonna die. And in the same vein, this trailer is the same way. It's like you have this guy who is kind of getting his ass beat, thinking he's gonna die. And obviously he fights off the locust, but it's still like, man, he's still gonna die. And then obviously Dom comes in and saves him. But like, it was still sick to see. Like, just like, it's hype, man. It's hype. I'm feeling the hype. You know what I mean? I'm feeling so much hype for this game now. I definitely want to do maybe a trailer breakdown of it. Just to kind of see what we see. But yeah, man, the game, the trailer it is doing a lot for me, and I think it's doing a lot for other fans of the game, because it's just finally, like, we have hope within the game. Because the reception for this game has been great, or the trailer, the opening trailer, whatever this is, has been great compared to Gears 5. Like you look at Gears 5's, like first reveal, right? The trailer, or like rather the cutscene. You look at that, like that was basically the first time we ever saw Gears 5, and then the reception from that was very mixed. It was like, okay, cool, we have a new Gears game, but then what are we doing here? Why is Kate doing this? Why isn't Marcus stopping her? Because Marcus knows the threat of Locust being back, or Kate potentially being able to control the Locust. Same thing with like, I don't know. It was just very mixed, very mixed. So going back to this, it's like, damn, bro. Like I was seeing this trailer and then seeing how young Marcus is before his scar too. Seeing Dom again. It's like it's just exciting. I will say, I think back to this. By the way, this video is very obviously like kind of mumbo jumbo. I'm kind of just spinning off the top of my head from what I remember, and kind of other game details as well from the other Gears games. But like back to the character designs too, like the way Dom looked to me, actually, now that I think about it, looked like Gabe's character in a way from Gears Tactics. Gabe's character, like design. I'm not saying Gabe's character design is bad, but that it looks the same way where like the armor looks fucking huge on Gabe Diaz. If you ever see Gabe Diaz in Gears 5 or Gears Tactics, you can see how weird the armor just looks off on him. He looks weird in COG armor. So that was like the weird part to me, at least. But again, this trailer, who knows how long before the game comes out? Another year, another 2 years. Obviously, they might go through several iterations of design and stuff. I'm not saying the design is final for each enemy. I do think they will fill out the Locust and Dom maybe a little bit more, maybe Marcus as well, because Marcus looked not bad, but again, they didn't, to me, they did not look that buff. And you say it however you want, but Gears is known for having really buff characters, like really fucking buff characters. And we might not even see Barrett or Cole in this game, because technically speaking, Marcus and Dom never met Cole and Barrett until Gears of War 1 happened. And then that was obviously Gears of War 1 took place 14 years after E-Day, and this game is taking place on E-Day. That's why it's called Gears of War E-Day. But Gears of War 1 didn't take place till 14 years after. And so there's going to be no Cole or Barrett in this game. Maybe references of another squad, but there's no Cole or Barrett in this game. There's going to be no like Kim, no Carmine. Oh, well, we don't know about Carmine yet, but there could be, me and my brother were talking about this, there could be a D Carmine in this squad. Unless it's just going to be Marcus and Dom the whole time, which I doubt it will be. I'm sure they're going to add other characters. But, you have Dom as well. Or, sorry, they could do like a D Carmine type of thing, where, I mean, we all know there's a D Carmine somewhere, or another Carmine. Maybe not D Carmine, but, you have Anthony, you have Benjamin, you have Clayton. Obviously, there's some sort of D Carmine, whatever his name is. So they could add that Carmine in. Maybe they can do Clayton Carmine. It would be cool if they did Anthony, but they can't even do that because technically Anthony met Marcus in the first game as well. But it'd be cool if they did Anthony Carmine, because I think a lot of people like Anthony Carmine like way more than Benjamin and Clayton. Like I think Anthony Carmine by far is probably the most well-liked Carmine. I'm not saying no one likes Ben, but I think Anthony, everyone likes that Carmine more. But they can't put him in the game because he was never, or he never met Marcus until Gears of War 1 happened, so they can't even do that. But yeah, that was like, me and my brother were just talking about, like, man, what can they do for adding more characters into the, or not characters, but obviously any character that they add that's new is going to die in this game. Maybe besides Jace, or if they do Jace, like obviously Jace is going to be alive. If they do Ty, maybe add in Ty somehow. Ty is going to be alive. I'm trying to think of someone else. Like, what's another character that can't die because they're in the other games? If they do Hoffman somehow, maybe Hoffman's within the squad. Like, it'll be interesting how they do it, because if if it's not a reboot, because initially I thought it was a reboot, but later on I read it somewhere on Twitter where it's actually it's another mainline game. It's a mainline Saga game, so it's not a reboot. It's part of the regular Gear story that we already have, the comics and whatnot. So this game is going to be basically it's another prequel, right? Like Judgment was. It's going to be a prequel, or like Ram Shadow, the DLC for Ram Shadow. You know, it's like a prequel. With it being a prequel, not many characters can be added without us seeing them die. So if they add any new characters, unfortunately, they are gonna have to die unless they somehow write them out of this new game and say like, oh, they lived for the 4 games that came out, and the next game they like, oh, this character's back from Gears of War E-Day. Like, okay, that would to me that'd be very stupid if they do that. But still, like, any new character would be kind of cool. Obviously, they would have to die, unless it's like legacy characters, like I said, like Hoffman or Jace or Clayton or even a D Carmine, because D Carmine does live. He has a niece. We know Lizzie is a thing in Gears 5, and that means that for sure, in some capacity, D Carmine lived throughout the Locust War and is alive. Either whether he died to the Swarm or is still alive in Gears 5, which is, again, we don't know. Like, Epic and Coalition have been very good at hiding the fact that there is a 4th brother, but we're never going to tell you what his name is. We're never going to show him to you. So this could be the game where they show off D Carmine, and I think that would be pretty fucking sick if they do that. But yeah, bro, this game is just making my head go around, because I'm just thinking of all the possibilities that could happen, and it kind of just, it's obviously exciting me. It's giving me a lot of hope for the game. That opening shot, or not that opening shot, that ending shot, man, that ending scene of the game, it looks fantastic. Like, it looks amazing, bro. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, seeing again the corpses just kind of climbing over buildings, they're showing shit, seeing the ravens fly over the city, maybe looking for search and rescue, or just looking at the the destruction of their city. Like, I don't know, man. And the thing is, what now? The next main question is, what is this story going to be about, right? Like, how long is the story going to last? Because obviously we know that Marcus, since this is a mainline game, not a reboot, Marcus goes to prison. Now I forgot how long Marcus fights the E-Day before he goes to prison for saving his father, but that, my guess is that maybe would be the end of this game. Is Marcus trying to go save his father, and then obviously, like, he gets arrested, or he tries to save his father, that doesn't happen, so then he goes to prison for 14 years or however long, 10 years. Like, there's a lot of things that I need to learn up on the comics for, because I don't know when Marcus exactly goes to prison. I don't know if he goes to prison that, like, when E-Day happens, like during that same day, or if he just goes to prison like 2 weeks after fighting, maybe a year after fighting, and he's only in prison for 13 years, or maybe he's only in prison for 10 years. Like, I don't know how long Marcus fights in the E-Day invasion, right? But obviously, obviously Marcus will have to go to prison at some point. I'm guessing at the end of this game they'll probably just show either Marcus going to prison, or maybe the hammer strike's happening. Maybe that's a climax of the game, or like the middle of the game, the hammer strike's happening, something like that. Maybe they do like a Judgment reference too, because in Judgment, when you play Judgment, like, there is that scene towards the end of the game where Baird is about to drop the light mask bomb, and then Marcus calls in like, hey, we need backup, we'd have time for a chopper, we have wounded, they need a medevac and stuff, all this and that, and then Baird drops the bomb and basically saves the squad at the end of Gears 5. But that could be, not Gears 5, Gears Judgment. So that could be like this game can maybe reference that, or it's just maybe Judgment happens like a little bit after this game, you know, and maybe Marcus and Dom get split up, or Marcus and Dom get put on Omega Squad, and they go, you know, try to find people. Maybe Karn is the main villain of the game again, but obviously they can't kill Karn because Judgment, Karn dies to Baird and his squad. So that's actually another big question like I have for the game is, who is going to be the main villain? Obviously, the Queen is alive again, right? So there's going to be some mention of a Queen, or maybe we'll have the Queen voiceover again, like we had the Queen voiceover for Gears 1 and Gears 2. So, but obviously Marcus doesn't know about the Queen. Like no one in the COG knows about the Queen. So again, it's just kind of like, okay, like maybe it'll be like it will be like Gears 1 and 2, where the Queen just kind of the Queen sort of just goes over or voiceovers the like cutscenes and stuff. But who will be the main villain? It can't be Rom, or maybe, I mean, obviously Ram or Rom like was the main general doing the invasion force, but it can't really be Rom because we kill him in Gears 1, and the way they make it seem like is Marcus, that was the first time Marcus ever saw Rom, so they can't really do that. So they can't really use Rom again. They can't do Scourge because, again, in Gears 2 it was like the first time ever seeing Scourge. So maybe they do that villain. That there's a character that they've put in both 4 and 5. That it looks like a Rom character. It's not Rom, but it looks like another Rom character. I think his name is Srock, Uzel Srock or whatever. They can use him. If they want, they can't use Ukon because obviously Ukon fucking dies in Gears Tactics to Gabe Diaz and their little misfit squad. So again, I don't know who the main villain's gonna be. Maybe they won't be much of a threat. I mean, sorry for the pause, but you look at Gears 4. Gears 4 didn't really have a main villain. They didn't. You can say Jin was the main villain in Gears 4. You can say that Speaker Scion thing was the villain in Gears 4, but it was really nothing. Gears 5, obviously, you have the Queen. After Act 2, you have the Queen and whatnot. But this game, I don't know who the villain's going to be. Again, it'll probably be some badass Locust. Hopefully some badass Locust looking dude. Because Ukon, Ukon to me not look very badass. Like he's a cool character in concept, considering he's basically the Locust scientist. But to me, Ukon doesn't look that cool to me. He looked kind of nerdy. I don't know how else to say it, but Ukon looked a little nerdy to me. I mean, he is a scientist for the Locust army, but still, he looked like a nerd to me. So I didn't like his design that much. Sorry for the car that passed by right now, but yeah, like this game, it needs to be good. I hope the story is good. I think it has to be good, or it has to be good. I think that the story is going to be good because, I mean, we got what, in a weird way, we got what we wanted. We're going back to a Marcus centric story. That's what I said, like in my prediction yesterday. I was like, it's either we go back to JD or we somehow go back to a Marcus centric story. And in a way, we are going back to a Marcus focus story of, Marcus and Dom discovering the Locusts, or fighting the Locusts for the first time, and dealing with the nightmare that they are. So it's cool. Honestly, it is really cool to experience how Marcus and Dom dealt with the initial invasion of the Locusts. I'm moving away from my mic, so I'm getting quieter by accident. But it is cool to play. First off, on E-Day, this literally looks like the night or the day of E-Day. So it's cool that we basically get to play, like maybe it's only the beginning part, but it's cool that we get to have this game, because there's been really no Gears game where it deals with like E-Day like this to me. Like Tactics did, but Gears Tactics in a way kind of strayed away from it. Like it was during E-Day, or like the initial days of E-Day, but they didn't really do that much with it. Same thing with Ram Shadow. Ram Shadow was like maybe a day or two after E-Day, but again, kind of didn't do much with it. But Gears 4, that opening cutscene in Gears 4 with Kim in front of House of Sovereigns, that was the main, like the first hour of E-Day, and that was cool. That was like, yes, like that, seeing like how the Gears reacted to it, and I was like, oh, this is kind of sick, bro. Like I fuck with this. Um, but obviously that shit kind of it didn't last that long because obviously it was just like that. Those were prequel missions, you know, so they can't really do that much with that. But it was cool either way. Having that is pretty sick to have. So maybe we get something along those lines. Basically, they expand on that like opening scene from Gears 4 into this Gears of War E-Day. Um, but there was like another thing I was going to talk about. Oh my gosh, there was like one more point I had in my head, and that point is slowly just kind of going away. Um, oh my gosh, the it was something about the story. Uh, or yeah, so the beginning of the game too can be maybe the Pendulum Wars. Like maybe the actual E-Day doesn't happen until maybe Act 2 or Act 3 maybe, because you know, obviously we have the Pendulum Wars happening, and E-Day happened. I'm moving far from my mic again. E-Day happened like 3 days after the Pendulum Wars ended, so that can be something. That can be, what do you call it? That you know, E-Day happening, like maybe after the first act could be a possibility of just, hey, like you fight the Pendulum Wars for a little bit with Marcus and Dom, just kind of get yourselves acquainted, and then we have boom, and then we have E-Day happening. So that would be kind of cool. Maybe they don't do that. Maybe they just straight up the first act, first chapter of the game is straight up. All right, here we go. Here's E-Day. To me, it looks like they're going away from that open world and going back to singular, linear, clear room type of game, which is fine. Again, again, the gameplay for Gears of War has always been good, even in these newer games. So, to me, having that linear story back and kind of that clear room to room gameplay is fine by me, because again, the Gears of War gameplay has always been solid, and if the AI is smart, it will be even better. Because honestly, the AI in Gears 5 is kind of it wasn't that good. I feel like the AI from the original Gears games were way better. Even in Gears 4, like I don't know, the Swarm just they're not as menacing to me. They are not very menacing. So that's why to me I'm like, I don't know about this. I don't know about this. You know what I mean? Like this sort of design the Swarm have. So going like and that kind of goes in part with the AI in Gears 5. To me, the AI in Gears 5, they're just very not very, like, obviously if you play Inconceivable, they're annoying, but they're not very smart, I think, compared to like Gears 2, Gears 3, Gears 1 AI. To me, they don't look very smart to me. Or they don't the AI within the game just doesn't feel that smart. So hopefully they kind of fix that in this new game. Maybe hopefully the AI is a lot more menacing. The locusts are a lot more harder to fight. I don't mind the enemies being more tanky. You know, you like in Gears 1, 2, and 3, like the enemies were kind of tanky, even on the easy mode or even on the easy difficulties. In 5, like they're very easy to kill, honestly. I kind of think about it. In Gears 5, the enemies are very easy to kill, even on Inconceivable. I will say that those fucking grenadiers in Gears 5 are annoying as hell. Those elite grenadiers with the nades or with the flashbangs, like, they will, like, if they had that in the new game, that's fine, honestly. Because they, like, those nades are just crazy accurate, and it's annoying as fuck, but, you know, it's to me, it's like, okay, fine. It makes the enemy more dangerous, more annoying to deal with, but it's also fine because it's like, okay, like this is what I want. Like this is like the not the desperateness, but this is kind of what like I need right now is this sense of these enemies are smart, and it kind of goes in with like the world of the game, just kind of like enemies being smart, and they're not as dumb as they look, because you know, obviously the Swarm within the new game, they're not very smart. Even after they get their queen, they're not very smart. So I don't know. But yeah, that's all I have. I'll probably make another video being more making more sense. But that's it for now. Gears is back, baby. Gears is back.